I am going to show you a little story first of all, though. It's sort of tied into it because it's Mark Mitchell. Now, when we say Mark Mitchell, Jeremy, we think of Matt Damon from that puppet thing. So we refer to him as Mark Mitchell. There's some video came out today of Mark Mitchell speaking to some of the either protesters or counter-protesters. And I wanted to highlight this and show this to people because this to me is everything that's sort of wrong with national. Stereotyping people, telling people what boxes they fit in, and telling them that they can then fix them out of those boxes. Some of you may have seen this. It's going around the internet today. But Mark Mitchell thinks he's talking to gang members. That's who he thinks he's talking to. And I don't know whether these guys would be in what we classify as gangs or not. But it's very clear to this Māori group who have come through is that's your label for what we do, and that's not okay. And I kind of think this feels a little bit like National and ACT to a T, telling others that don't fit into their, call it what you want, colonised box, Western box, white box, wealth box, that they should fit in where they don't. Let me play you a little bit of this for you, and you'll hear the interaction yourself.
I just want to be really clear with you. I agree with you. I don't want these guys to be in the gangs. And by the way, if either one of you here want to leave, I'll be the first one to step up beside you and make that happen. But while you continue to choose to be in a gang, while you continue to be part of organised, so you've left the gang. That was your assumption.
I never was in a gang.
Okay,
but good. A good assumption. Good.
Okay. So the assumption was you're in a gang. He says I'm not in a gang and I've never been in one, but Mark Mitchell will still tell him and congratulate him for getting out of the gang.
So I'm pleased.
No,
so I'm pleased to hear.
Me.
No,
I support my father. You know what? The whāngai here. I represent
I'm
everyone.
Pleased to hear. I'm pleased to hear that you've left the gang.
But
the reason why we are here today, and you're part of a hikoi that's brought a petition. You're part of a hikoi that's brought a petition to say that the policies that we want to implement, if we're lucky enough to be in government, are going to be too tough on gangs. You're right. They are going to be very tough on gangs. But Matilda, they have got a choice. They've got a choice to leave the gang and all the negativity that comes with that and stop the intergenerational harm that has caused and done, stop the violence that's on our streets, or...
I didn't realise it was just so easy, Jeremy? I mean, it's just snap out of it. It's just so easy. There's no underlying issues. It's like we're using this term now, Jeremy, given to us by an academic recently, that people who offer simple solutions to complex issues do good bumper stickers, but terrible policy. And this is what I hear with just leave, just get out. There's no problems. Just get out.
Yeah, that to me is maybe the more important part, because I mean, a little bit more context. This particular group, I think, are separate from the freedom, the Tamaki protest that is there. These people are here specifically with a petition saying that National's policies are. When they're anti-gang, they're also anti-Maori, and they're representing whānau and friends who are in gangs or have been in gangs. So there is that. But yes, again, I mean, the three things you listed that are wrong with this approach are all entirely valid. But the other one is, I mean, this is the bumper sticker. This has been National's bumper sticker going back 20 years, going, we're going to clamp down on gangs. And then you ask them how. And there's no answer. There's crickets. And, is this assumption, just leave the gang? Yeah, okay. If it was that easy, more people would do it. It's like telling, an addict, oh, just give up.
Yeah. Just stop drinking. Stop drinking easy.
And the thing with, and that's what this particular hikoi is about, is that the gangs there's a reason they exist. This isn't a pro-gang hikoi, but it's saying that there are reasons why these gangs exist, and the reasons need to be addressed, not simply the membership.
Yep. Now let's get to the end of this, because I find there's quite a powerful moment where this gentleman here in the red Cubs shirt basically says to Mark Mitchell, you've offended me, you've stereotyped me, you need to apologise. And the video cuts off quite quickly after that, but you'll be surprised to hear people, no apology is forthcoming.
They can choose to stay with the gang. And if they choose to stay with the gang, then we are going to be clamping down. And it's going to be much harder and much tougher to be in a gang. Matilda,
we're not a gang.
Well,
not a gang. That's the label you gave us.
Well, so
we are not a gang.
So I'm talking about the mongrel mob, I'm talking about the Black Power, I'm talking about the headhunters,
we're a family,
I'm talking
we're
about the
a
common
culture.
heroes,
You need
I'm
to
talking about the
acknowledge
Mongols,
that we are a
I'm talking
whānau.
about all the
We're
gangs
not a gang.
that are out fighting
We are
and
not a
causing issues.
gang. man.
Okay.
We are a family. We are a whānau. We are a community within ourselves.
So let me clarify. I know you're not voting for me, you're voting for Labour. That's very apparent. There's been a hooey around the country to organise a vote for
You took
Labour.
ahead my mana by stereotyping me, and you still haven't apologised. It's exactly that. Hey, you haven't apologised for all the intergenerational trauma that created this stuff.
Well,
No. Apologise for stereotyping me and saying I'm in a gang.
Well,
No.
Those three generations we talked about that are still going.
Did you say I was a
I'm listening to you.
Did you say I was a gang
so
member?
I'm not going to apologise to you.
For saying something
if you
that's
have
offensive?
left the gang, then good on you.
I
But the
wasn't
reality
even
is
in
this:
one.
you're standing on
Doesn't
the,
get it.
You're standing on the. Can I have my say?
After you apologise for it.
So even then, you know, even after being told 10 times that he's not in a gang, you were in a gang.
Yeah.
That's this example that I'm talking about, that what we're talking about tonight. And we are going to talk about race relations a little bit tonight, because it's been a topic of conversation amongst the politicians today, is that you're so dumb, can't think of another way to say it, you're so ignorant, you're so pig-headed, when someone tells you water's wet, you're still saying, no, it's dry. When someone says, you're incorrect about me, they're still saying, no, I know you better than you know you. It's that whole kind of, mum and dad know best. The patronising tone that a part of politics, probably all of politics on some level, but I think we see it in a part of politics more than others. A part of politics is telling the vulnerable, Māori, the minority, how they should be doing life and doing it better. And what they're saying, I used to talk about this a lot on politics, when people say things like, and this is not an example of what the conversation we were just saying, but you see it with migrants, when are they going to come and be a part of community? And I used to always say there's two ways you be a part of community. They either become like us or we become like them. Or probably there's three, or we meet in the middle somewhere. And I always say to people, so you want the new migrant to be like you. When have you invited them into your house and opened your door and allowed them to become a part of community? Now, that's not the example we've just looked at, but that idea of we know best, you be like us, I very much hear that in that conversation, Jeremy.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, that gentleman's name, by the way, is Taniora Tamahana, and he is not a gang member. Like I say, he's part of this group who are protesting the fact that these policies claim to be anti-gang, but in many ways they are actually just anti-Maori. And Mark Mitchell it's that national, it's that right wing. I mean, it kind of cracks me up that one of the accusations we always get around left-wing governments is that they are a nanny state, whereas this is like nanny going, you are this and you should be like this.
Yeah.
That's as nanny state as it gets. And it's just standard operating procedure, particularly when it comes to the tough on crime brigade. It's just stop doing that. Stop stealing things, stop being a criminal, without any thought of maybe there's a reason, maybe there's something behind it. Maybe there's a social economic issue at hand here. No, it's simply a crime issue. It's black and white, and black and white, pun intended, very much so. Yeah.
Yeah, but this thing that we keep coming back to, and we are going to keep coming back to it again and again and again, offering simple solutions to complex issues, gets you nowhere other than a big bill at the bumper sticker printing company. That's about all it will ever do.
And it also never outlasts an election cycle. I mean, that's the problem, is that reality kicks in really quickly. And what we're hearing and seeing so much of this election is promises that, I mean, as someone who's lived through a few elections, you just look at so many of them and just go, nothing's going to happen there, because it is such a simple election bumper sticker, but the problem is so much more complex to it. And this isn't just coming from National, this is coming from Labour as well. It's coming from the left as well as the right, which is, here's a really simple solution to the problem. And then they get into power, whoever they may be. And we've seen it for the last, 3 years. We've seen Labour try to use very simple solutions for very complex problems and get nowhere. And it's something that just, unfortunately, has just become, I think, the defining characteristic of this election so far.